McFly, Kelly Collis are returning to the airwaves.
I'm so excited for you. I'm looking at the app right now.
Welcome back, Tommy and Kelly!
The Tommy Show took pride in being an active member of the local community.
Thrilled for you.
And for making DC a happier place.
Congratulations, Tommy and Kelly, on the launch of your new Tommy Show 2.0.
Get on it, people. Share that app.
And folks, it's the news we've all been waiting for. The Tommy Show, it's coming back.
Live from DC, it's the Tommy Show. Broadcasting around the Beltway and beyond. Real fun DC. Starring Kelly Collis and Tommy McFly. Another hour of the Tommy Show starts now.
And welcome to a brand new week. It feels like that first beginning of the week, the world is your oyster, Kelly Collis. There are so many possibilities ahead of you.
I'm a fried oyster because it is so hot out. I can't even deal. But today was supposed to be a little bit better, but still like super hot.
Yeah, it's no better at all.
Oh, it's so crazy. And those storms last night were insane.
We got our whole crew here this morning. Intern Little Fox is here. Sam and Zoe and Gabby, the whole team who puts the show on this morning. We got a lot to talk about, too. If you want to hit the Call Us Live button and chime in, you can call at 202-908-1288. Or the open mic button is always a great way to get involved and chime in.
I became a total space nerd this weekend with, I guess, the rest of Washington. If you go onto any social media feed, you can see people that went down for the monument. They bared the heat and went down there and just, like, enjoyed it. Tommy, I know you went down there. I was down there on Friday night.
Everyone has moon landing fever.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I loved it. I convinced a bunch of people on Saturday to go that normally wouldn't go downtown, like get the kids to go, because it just was truly once-in-a-lifetime experience to see that on the monument over the weekend.
Yeah, the Washington Monument fully lit up, became a screen. There were screens all around it. I don't live that far from the mall, and it was so cool on Friday night when like the heat finally started to, I'm going to say die down in air quotes. I took the dogs for a walk because they were like, we haven't been outside all day. So we went for a walk down to watch like the 10:30 liftoff, and it was just so cool.
It was really cool. I was for the 9:30, and we went to Old Ebbitt for dinner beforehand, and we were sitting up at the bar watching the Nats game, and the entire bar kind of emptied out right around 9:15 to make it down for the 9:30 showing. It was really cool to see, like, you know, people kind of just enjoying DC and all going together as one down to the mall.
And you're probably wondering, like, I had so many questions about how this gets to happen, how they put a projection on the Washington Monument. We joked last week, maybe they'll play some Disney movies next, or like have like a screen on the green. But it's not going to be that ever again. Very likely ever again. We talked to Jeff Holtz from Atmosphere Lighting. His team was part of the hundreds of people who put this on and made it all happen.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, so it was wild. And we asked Jeff, like, how did you even get to do this, and where did it come from?
So in order for us to do this, as you may or may not know, they had to pass a resolution in the House, literally a law, so that we have permission this one time to turn off the lights that are normally pointed at the monument and replace that with projection. As part of that, we have to keep the rest of the monument that is not the east face being projected on. It has to be lit at all times. So a big part of our job is simply lighting the back of the monument while the projections are going on.
And how do you even do that? Because you visited the monument, they have those giant structures, those giant lights. How do you bring something in temporarily that's big enough to do that?
Well, we have really big lights at our disposal, so we temporarily install a bunch of those and set them up so that they look great on the monument.
So what happens if you don't? I mean, it's a law. Who goes to jail?
Hopefully not me. But, I'm not sure how enforcement is taking place.
So you guys are in charge of the lighting. What do you do during the daytime?
Fix things. Fix things that break overnight.
And,
so I have a crew that works from 5 p.m. in the evening until 7 a.m. because after they finish, programming and working on things and adjusting things overnight, my team has to continue to stay and make sure that those lights stay on until the sun comes up.
It's so wild, and thank you for shining some light, if you will, on you guys are making happen. I'm sure you have a million lighting jokes in your business. But Jeff Holt from Atmosphere Lighting, I appreciate you giving us the heads up and giving us the back and forth of what goes on down there.
Thanks. You too.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Have fun.
And congratulations, because flawless.
Yep.
I mean, at least we didn't notice it on our end. It was such an incredible night. And I love, too, on TV, I spent a lot of time indoors because of the heat. Like, there was Apollo 11 documentaries. Apollo 13 was running on, like, replay on HBO or Showtime or one of those. Got to watch that. Like, I just loved it.
And I went to New York for a friend's birthday party this weekend, so I was on the train a lot, and I was, like, poking around. NPR had this whole story about things that astronauts eat. Like
in space?
Astronaut food back then versus astronaut food now.
In space or
yeah,
on the
in
ground?
space,
Okay.
yeah. And so it hasn't actually gotten much better for them. Can you indulge me with the menu for a second?
Oh, please.
So astronauts nowadays can order things like lasagna or beefsteak or tuna casserole. The ice cream has not really been updated much from the ice cream that like we love.
I love that ice cream, that dried ice cream. You can get it at the Aerospace Museum.
What do you think is one beverage besides alcohol that they're not allowed to have in space?
Milk.
Ooh, no. Carbonated beverages of any kind.
Right. Well, that would make sense.
Because of the gas and
yes.
Also, it may cause digestive issues. And when you're at, I don't know, what is it, 400,000 feet or more? I don't know. Your husband said
you're in
would
space.
Know. Yeah, when you're in space, the last thing you want is a comrade with digestive issues.
No, yeah, that would not be good.
And also, why you'd make a great astronaut, Kelly, they don't allow bread in space either.
It's gluten-free?
Yeah. Well, because they're afraid, because of the crumbs, could like get into the gear and monkey with the gear.
Huh.
Yeah, but what was interesting, in the 80s, a astronaut from Mexico requested tortillas.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, yeah, that is bread without crumbs. Nicely done. Nicely done. And so actually Taco Bell provides some of the tortillas for them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's a nice government contract to get.
Look at that. The official NASA tortillas.
Well, also over the weekend, of course, the long-awaited Lion King came out. $185 million at the box office, despite like a ton of bad reviews. But I mean, it got all the media and the press.
Yeah.
I mean, even Meghan Markle went to the premiere. So I feel like, you know, if it's good enough for her, it's good enough for us.
How do you feel about this, though? Because I'm not, like, terribly excited about all of these live-action movies coming, because The Lion King was not that long ago. And it was a wonderful cartoon.
It was kind of long ago. Wasn't it 20-plus years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the history of the world, though, it's not that long ago.
Well, yes, of course. If you put it in that perspective, I'm not into it. I will not go to the movie. I will see it when it comes out on, like, one of the movie things or Netflix or whatever.
Senior intern Little Fox, you went and saw it. What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I definitely could see how people would have some issues with it, but overall, I really enjoyed it.
Favorite part?
Probably Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. How can you pick a favorite part? Because it's just basically the movie redone. Is anything different in the new movie? Like dramatically different. No.
Not
see?
that
he still becomes king, right?
Remembering, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, definitely the way they went about certain things. There is a couple scenes in this version that aren't in the original, but it was like a deleted scene from the original that they just like chose not to include.
Okay.
Kind
so
of.
The plot didn't change.
Oh.
Not
You
fully.
still got the evil uncle and the hyenas and
They're all still lions, too, right?
Yeah.
yes.
I just feel like maybe The Lion King 2 could have been live action.
Like how he does as a king.
Right, how he rules.
Yes.
Was he a lame duck king, or was he like a progressive king, or like what happened with his kingness?
We may never know.
You never may. Yeah, or maybe they're going to make another Lion King live action.
I can't. Well, something that is just amazing are the Nats, and I'm so excited to talk about them because they won on Friday night against the Braves. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because the Braves are number 1 in the NL East, and that was a big, big win. And we lost the other 2 games. But despite that, the Nats are back in town today for almost 11 days.
Okay.
And they are doing a really cool program for the rest of the summer. Kids under the age of 12 get a free meal. It comes in a little box with a hot dog and a beverage of choice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Isn't that really, really cool?
Well,
they're the only team in the MLB to do something like this.
And you have one of those. You can show it. We are live on video on Facebook and Twitter. We can show you what that looks like on the live stream if you're watching this morning. So there's not a hot dog in there.
No,
correct?
they didn't. The Nats dropped this off, but they just what the box looks like. And I just love it. It's
yeah.
I mean, that's what baseball is all about in the summertime, bringing your family and kids getting involved, and it's just good stuff.
And they're the only ones in the MLB to do this.
Yes.
That is wild.
And Scherzer comes back this week from after a brief break from an injury.
Now, you are all Nats all the time.
Yes.
And I've honestly, since our Tommy Show night at Nats Park, I've sort of been... I've paid less attention than I normally do.
Well, you're not the big fan. That's okay.
I know, but can you fill us in? Because they're like...
Yeah,
they turned the ship around.
Yeah, they're number 2 in the NL East. They're in the wild card position. That means we may have some playoffs. I decided also for the playoffs, because I watched Moneyball yesterday, like Billy Bean, I am not going to go to the wild card game. I'm going to sit alone by myself in front of the TV and just like... Wild card is a lot of pressure because it's uno.
Yes.
One game.
Yes.
You have to win.
Yes.
Or it's all over. I don't think I can handle being in the park or at the game if that does happen.
I am, so this time around, if we go to the playoffs, I'm not buying the commemorative year hat. I've bought the hat every year, and we haven't won.
I know, but now they're kind of fun and retro.
I know they are fun and retro, but like, I mean, that I think is maybe why we didn't go on ever. Because I went and bought the hat. Yeah, that and Bryce Harper choked in the bottom of the ninth. But other than that, it was probably the hat.
It's a great time to watch the Nats. They're doing awesome, and the trade deadline's coming up at the end of the month, and there's a lot of excitement.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Well, thank you for being on it, Kelly, because I disconnected a little bit. I apologize.
Well, I think the world is okay.
Age limit on the kids eat free?
12.
Oh, man.
12 and under. Yeah, my kids don't qualify either.
I thought we could bring the interns to a game and make it real cheap.
Also, Katie Ledecky, our home slice, our girl is making headlines. She's back in the pool. There's a big old world championship going on in South Korea. And yesterday, she lost the 400. And that's the headline. But she came in second, but she just didn't get first place. A young lady from Australia beat her, and there's just a lot of buzz about whether she still has it. And she's 22 years old.
She's second.
I know. She still came in second. And it was, like, very close. I mean, it usually is in swimming anyway. But,
yeah.
So she has other competitions coming up, but this Australian girl is all the buzz.
That drives me crazy because normally Katie Ledecky beats records by, like, an hour.
I know. She's, like, waiting for them at the other end of the pool.
Yeah, she gets out of the pool. She's, like, dried off and already has her clothes back on. And now they're like, she came in second. Could her reign be over? No, she came in second. Leave her alone, media.
She's a fierce competitor. And you think about it. She's not had any injuries. Like, she just is so diligent about her training and her sport. I still think some great things to come from her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She came in only it was second, people.
I know.
It was second.
Right. It's a silver medal.
Welcome to your Monday. What you doing? Hit us up on the Call Us Live button or the Open Mic button. How was your weekend? Who's up? What's good? What are you doing? Also, we want to talk about just how hot it was this weekend.
In case you didn't know.
Oh, my goodness. We have some very definitive ways to tell just how hot the heat wave was next.
So,